Hi, good morning. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Teacher Josa, your teacher for the subject Introduction to the Philosophy of the Human Person. All right. La 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 la. Mhm. Yun. Oh, our last topic is all about approaches in doing philosophy. We discovered that wonder is the source of philosophy. It's while doubt is the first moment of actively doing philosophy, and autonomy is the goal of philosophy. We also discussed a different definition of truth, which are dogmatic, relativistic, and regulative. We also differentiate having a philosophy versus doing philosophy. And when we say having a philosophy, you have a system of beliefs that shape you more than you shape it. We are just a passive observer. We are reactive to outside influences, and we have no freedom, no initiation, and just a receiver of creation or information. That is having philosophy. While doing philosophy is we wonder about the world around us. We are active participant in life. We are proactive in our own course of life, and we exercise freedom to decide, to initiate, and to create. All right. So I hope you remember that. And what are the approaches in doing philosophy? First, critical or analytical. You question the fundamental beliefs. Next is the speculative or metaphysical philosophy. It aims to investigate the general principle that could explain reality. Okay? Reductionist philosophy focus more on the properties of its part, while holistic philosophy leans on relationship between parts. Okay? So, yan na. I hope you remember it all. For our motivation, for our topic today, let's read a short story entitled The Reflection of Your Action. I got this from www.moralstories.org, the reflection of your actions. A man and his son were going through the forest hills. Suddenly, the boy fell down on the trail and screamed with a pain, "Ah!" Surprisingly, he heard the same voice from the mountain. "Ah!" Curiously, the boy shouted, "Who is this?" But the voice replied, saying, "Who is this?" He got angry and shouted again, "You are stupid!" And said the voice replied the same, "You are stupid." Annoyed by this, the boy asked his father, "Father, what is going on? Who is this?" The father replied, "Son, pay attention." The father shouted, "You are very nice." And the voice responded the same, "You are very nice." The father again shouted, "Thank you." And the voice again responded the same, "Thank you." The son was very surprised, but he still could not understand what was happening. The father explained, "Son, call it resonance. But this is the truth of the life. The life is a reflection of your actions. What you will give to others, you will receive the same in return." I think that's the end of the story. So my question for you is, do you believe in the Father that life is a reflection of our action? Mhm. When was the last time you reflect on your own actions? Why do you reflect? How do you do it? So, today our topic is all about philosophical reflection. And we have two learning activities that you will, the learn activity number one um, is your task for today. I mean, you need to accomplish learn activity number one today. And then tomorrow, Friday, you need to accomplish learning activity number two. Okay? So our content standard as the learners understands the meaning and process of doing philosophy. Performance standard, the learner reflects on a concrete experience in a philosophical way. For the most essential learning competency, do a philosophical reflection on a concrete situation from a holistic perspective. Okay? So our specific objectives are discuss the meaning of philosophical reflection using the information table that is cognitive, share philosophical reflection to others, affective, write philosophical reflection, psychomotor. All right, so let's start our discussion. Again, our topic is philosophical reflection. What is the meaning of reflection? Alam lang natin yung kanta yun, no? Mhm. Reflection shows who I am. Yun ba yun? I don't know. All right. According to Plato, philosophical reflection is a philosophical activity. No. While for John Locke, philosophical activity is one's awareness that he or she is thinking. You know that you are thinking, and even though you think about nothing or you think of nothing, you are still thinking. And the reflection means you are aware that you are thinking about your thinking, and you're aware that you are thinking. Okay, that's according to John Locke. While for Hegel, philosophical reflection is the process of things reproducing under the influence of other things, traces or imprints of the things exercising that influence. So it's a process of producing a lot of things from the original thoughts because you want to examine you want to trace uh like the very root of this thinking or the things that you are producing. Okay, next, for Hegel again, it's a process whereby in any complex example real system phenomena at one level reflect process takes place at a deeper level. That's why if we do some reflection, we allot time, and usually we choose a quiet place for this. Next, according to Steve Goldberg, self reflection is a backward step of inspecting assumptions and beliefs for internal coherence and consistency. When we say coherence, is the way to justify what you are thinking. And I told you as one of the examples, doing physics is different from doing the philosophy of physics because in doing physics, you do the measurement, you build some theories, etc. No? While in doing philosophy of the physics, you step back, like you check, para saan to? Am I measuring the reality? And is this relevant? Yung mga informations that I'm using in physics and etc. Okay? Next is, for Harper, reflections come from the Latin verb reflectere, meaning to bend or turn back on the self. Okay? Take note of that. Turn back on the self. For really, activity that includes whether and how persons can know or relate to themselves. All right? Can relate things to themselves. What are the connections of those events in my life? Okay. Next, for John Dewey, philosophical reflection is It is considered as highly personal, cognitive process in which a person takes an experience from outside world and brings it inside and make connections to other experiences and filters it through personal biases. Okay, very self explanatory. For Hans, reflection must be anchored to reliable and valid reality that accessible to others for critical discussion. Because for Hans, even though you reflect and that the reflections like you have wrong informations or subjective reactions sa mga maraming bagay, pwede siyang magdulot ng confusion and negative impact sa buhay mo. And he says that it must be accessible to others for critical discussion. Why? Because we need to hear, to know the different perspectives of other people. No? So just like for example, for Ma'am Zosa, example lang naman. No? For other people, they want the simulation game for other students. Majority of my students love simulation game. But others or like selected like 1 out of 50 don't like it because it's hard to play this game, and sometimes if you expose yourself to others and tell your opinions, ibabash ka nila pabalik, no? But that's his personal experience, okay? So we need to see that different people have different opinions, different perspective. We need to understand because again, no, we came from parang we we experience different environmental, parang there are many environmental factors affecting our decisions, our interpretations, and it's good that we check and balance. We see the pros and cons of our decisions because at the end of the day, ikaw naman yung maapektuhan nun. Okay? And ayun, wala kasing perfect eh. Okay? And I'm happy na respectful naman yung mga student na ganun. Okay? So, thank you so much to all my dear students for loving all our teaching strategies, my teaching strategies. All right. Next, so here's our learning activity for day one. So learning activity for today. Because learning activity number two um, ay para bukas, Friday. Let me check your time. All right. So what are your beliefs and principles in life? It could be about yourself, your family, friends, your studies, your daily routines, or about this pandemic. Where do you think that beliefs and principles come from or originate? Who influences your beliefs and principles? How do you know that they are reliable? What are your evidences? Cite your references. How do you know that your pieces of evidences are reliable and valid? I want you to prove it. Why do you believe that your beliefs why do you believe that your beliefs and principles are true? How did you test or analyze your beliefs and principles? Do you believe that the way you test or analyze is reliable and valid? How, why, and how? All right, so for day two, learning activity number two, yan, we have different lenses in seeing or analyzing or examining or stepping back, no, sa reflection. So we do have the backward looking. You step back literally, like you check your past decisions or other factors affecting your past decisions. Okay? So when we say inward looking, you look into yourself, inner. So it's more on about yourself, of yourself. Okay? When we say outward looking, again, it's outside factors like your friends, your family, your teachers, relatives, and etc. When we say forward looking, it's more on the future. Given the information of our from the past, current, and informations from you and other people, ano yung next? Ano yung pwedeng i-foresee natin? Okay? So, here's our guide question for lenses. So, for backward looking, how much did you know about philosophy before we started? Mhm. In what ways do you think you need to improve? What problems did you encounter while studying philosophy and how did you solve them? Siguro best example ko dito, one of my students, sabi niya, "Ma'am, I check other references then and I see similarities and also differences." So meaning, ang ganda, no? Ang ganda kasi hindi ka tumitigil na unawain yung philosophy. Like you look for other references, no? But make sure na nabasa niyo na yung mga references ay put in our core syllabus. Okay? Ayun, gumagawa ng paraan, no? Kasi alam niya bilang mag-aaral na ang learning ay hindi lang responsibilidad ng teacher, kundi niya rin bilang mag-aaral, no? Next, how about for inward looking? For inward looking, what did you learn about philosophy and yourself? Do you give your best effort in studying philosophy? Because you give me like rating, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kung ikaw kaya sa sarili mo, anong rate yung ibibigay mo, no? Sa effort na ibinigay mo rin in Philo, in studying Philo. What class activities help you learn the most? What do you believe Ma'am Josa done for the class that so that you will understand the lesson? What do you believe Ma'am Josa okay naulit lang. How about outward looking? For outward, in what ways did you learn differently? In what ways was your learning process similar? What comment would Ma'am Josa Alore Francisco would give to you? For forward looking, what's your next goal in studying philosophy? What are the things you want to share to your family and friends? How can you take what you've learned and apply it to your own life? Mhm. So for our additional activity, I want you to rest your mind after doing, 'di ba, reflection. So much. Ano daw? Thank you so much, dear students. God bless us all.